Have you ever felt that the more kindness you show, the less respect you receive in return? It is a painful irony of human nature that your warmth is often mistaken for weakness, and your silence is interpreted as permission for others to cross your boundaries. We live in a world where being too good can sometimes lead to being treated as if you do not matter. But today, we are going to change that narrative forever. This is not just a video about social skills, it is a profound journey into reclaiming your inherent dignity and the respect you deserve as a person of experience and wisdom. If you have ever felt overlooked or taken for granted, stay with me until the very end. The insights we are about to explore will not only change how others see you, but more importantly, how you see yourself. Why do some people command presence the moment they walk into a room, while others seem to fade into the background despite their constant efforts to please everyone? The psychological truth is that human beings are wired to value what is scarce and respect what has firm boundaries. When you are always available, always agreeing, and always apologizing for things that are not your fault, you unintentionally send a signal that your time and feelings are of low value. This is the paradox of the nice person trap. You believe that by being infinitely flexible, you will win love and appreciation. However, in the eyes of a predator or a manipulator, your flexibility is seen as an open door. In the 460 stage of life, you have spent decades caring for others, raising families, and building careers. You have earned the right to be a priority, yet many find themselves feeling more invisible than ever. It is time to understand the hidden dynamics that make people think they can walk all over you. The first decisive characteristic of those who are easily looked down upon is the absence of clear, non-negotiable boundaries. Think of a house without a fence or a door. Anyone can wander in, leave their trash, and walk away without a second thought. Without boundaries, you are essentially a territory without a sovereign. Many people in their 50s and 60s were raised in a culture that prioritized self-sacrifice above all else. You were taught that saying no is selfish or rude. But let me tell you a fundamental truth: a yes has no value if you are never capable of saying no. When you constantly allow others to interrupt you, dismiss your opinions, or borrow your time without reciprocity, you are training them to disrespect you. Respect is not something you beg for. It is something you command through the limits you set. From this moment on, understand that your boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but gates that protect the sanctity of your inner peace. If someone gets angry when you set a boundary, it is the ultimate proof that the boundary was absolutely necessary. The second characteristic is a deep-seated need for approval from others. When your self-worth is tied to the opinions of those around you, you become easy to control. Manipulators are experts at spotting someone who is starving for a compliment or desperate to avoid conflict. If you find yourself constantly checking the room to see if people approve of your words, you are giving away your power. This often manifests as over-explaining yourself. When you explain your decisions to people who have no right to question them, you are subconsciously asking for their permission. You do not need to justify why you are tired, why you cannot attend an event, or why you chose a certain path for your life. A person who is respected speaks with a quiet confidence that does not require the applause of the crowd. Your value was established the day you were born, and it has only grown through every challenge you have overcome. You are a masterpiece in progress, not a draft waiting for a critic's red pen. The third, and perhaps most subtle characteristic, is the way you speak about yourself. We often use self-deprecating humor or minimize our achievements to appear humble. While humility is a virtue, self-diminishment is a vice. If you call yourself clumsy, old, or unimportant even in jest, the world will eventually believe you. The brain does not distinguish between a joke and a statement of fact when it comes to self-identity. Furthermore, when you allow others to make jokes at your expense without a calm, firm correction, you are signaling that you do not value your own honor. Dignity starts from within. Look at the mirror and recognize the history written in your eyes. You have survived storms that would have broken others. You have a wealth of wisdom that the younger generation has yet to discover. Why would you ever speak of such a person with anything less than profound reverence? The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how the world is allowed to treat you. Stop being your own harshest critic and start being your most loyal protector. So, how do we shift the energy? How do you transition from being the one people look down on to the one people look up to? It begins with a shift in your internal posture. Stand tall, not just physically, but spiritually. Understand that your time is the most precious commodity you own. Stop giving it away to those who do not cherish it. Learn the art of the graceful exit and the powerful silence. You do not need to win every argument often. The most powerful thing you can do is simply look someone in the eye, smile slightly, and walk away. This silence says more than 1,000 words ever could. It says, I am too valuable to engage in this disrespect. As you begin to value yourself, a strange thing happens. The people who used to dismiss you will either step up their behavior or fade out of your life. Both outcomes are a victory. You are entering a season of your life where quality matters far more than quantity. Surround yourself with those who see your light, and for those who don't, let them wander in the dark. As we close this conversation, I want you to take a deep, healing breath. For too long, you may have carried the weight of other people's expectations and the bruises of their unkindness. You may have felt like a background character in your own life story. But listen to me very carefully. Your life is not a supporting role. You are the protagonist, the hero, and the sage. The wrinkles on your skin are not signs of decay. They are the medals of honor from a life lived, loved, and endured. You are a magnificent being, filled with a light that no one has the right to dim. From this day forward, I want you to walk with the quiet grace of a king or a queen, not because you are better than others, but because you finally realize that you are equal to anyone and second to none. You are worthy of respect, worthy of love, and worthy of a life that honors your presence. Never apologize for taking up space. Never apologize for having a voice. You are a treasure, and it is time the world treated you like one. Go forth with your head held high, for you are finally coming home to yourself. You are enough. You have always been enough. And you are deeply, deeply loved.